Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, hold on to your hats because the NFL rumor mill is buzzing with a potential blockbuster move that could reshape the NFC South and give the Falcons a serious edge heading into next season. Word on the street is that Atlanta is in serious talks to acquire Myles Murphy, the explosive edge rusher from the Cincinnati Bengals, in a deal that might just make all the difference in our quest for a Super Bowl championship. While nothing is official yet, sources close to the league say that the deal is nearly done, just waiting on the final details to be ironed out. This move, if it goes through, would be a major statement of intent from Atlanta, signaling that we're serious about competing at the highest level and building a defense that can dominate in the trenches. Myles Murphy, 24 years old, is a physical force on the edge. Standing at 6'5" and weighing around 275 pounds, he's got the athleticism and explosiveness that NFL teams dream of in a pass rusher. His 4.51-second 40-yard dash is a testament to his speed, and his power is undeniable, with a 25-rep bench press showing he's ready to bring the intensity on every snap. In 2025, Murphy played 15 games, racking up 9 sacks, 45 tackles, including 30 solo stops, along with 4 forced fumbles and 2 pass deflections. His PFF grade of 81.7 puts him in the top 20 among edge rushers, and his pressures, totaling 65 with 19 QB hits, highlight how disruptive he can be. His win rate of 22% and EPA per sack of -0.27 demonstrate that he's a consistent playmaker who can change the game in an instant. Looking at his career stats, Murphy has made a real impact over 3 seasons, tallying 22 sacks and 112 tackles. He's also forced 8 fumbles and even intercepted 3 passes, showing his versatility and playmaking ability. Despite some injury setbacks, like a groin pull in Week 2 of 2025 that caused him to miss 2 games, he bounced back strongly after returning, posting an EPA per rush of -0.18. His power and speed combo, along with a PFF pass rush grade of 83.4, make him a nightmare for offensive lines. His ability to generate yards after the catch, YAC, averaging 2.9 yards per reception against opponents, adds another layer of threat that any defense must account for. Now, why are the Bengals seemingly eager to move Murphy? Well, Cincinnati finished 8-9 last season, and their cap situation is tight. They're about $10 million over the limit for 2026. With Joe Burrow's extension looming and the team focusing on rebuilding their offensive line and securing those key contracts, it makes sense that they'd look to shed some salary. Murphy's $22 million annual price tag isn't cheap, but a trade could free up around $30 million in cap space, money that Cincinnati could use to lock down Burrow and bolster their offensive weapons. It's similar to what they did last year with Hendrickson, trading him to free up cap space. They're also trying to rebuild with draft picks, especially focusing on their offensive line, and the skepticism about their ability to compete in the short term remains high. Their record against the AFC North, just 2-2, along with their low pressures and stagnant PFF grade of 82.3 for Burrow, shows that Cincinnati might be looking to reset rather than contend immediately. For Atlanta, this potential acquisition is a game changer. Adding Murphy with his ability to generate pressure, projected to add around 9 sacks if he joins the Falcons, would significantly bolster our pass rush. Currently, our defense averages around 38 sacks per year, but with Murphy in the fold, that number could jump by roughly 26%, making us one of the most feared pass rushing units in the league. His addition would complement Judon perfectly, creating a dynamic duo that can terrorize quarterbacks and disrupt opposing offenses at will. The impact on our overall defense would be profound, increasing pressures, forcing turnovers, and reducing the yards and points allowed. Think about it, adding Murphy would elevate our pressure rate, positively influence our EPA on defense, and give us a real shot at becoming a true hybrid unit capable of intimidating any offense in the NFC South and beyond. From an overall team perspective, this move aligns with what we've been building in Atlanta, an aggressive, high-pressure defense that can generate sacks and force mistakes. Last season, the Falcons' defense was solid but lacked that extra edge, that game-changing talent who can turn the tide with a single play. Murphy fits that mold perfectly. His ability to generate pressure, adding around 68 more pressures per season, and his knack for forcing fumbles and causing disruptions in the backfield would make us much more formidable. Imagine the possibilities with a duo of Murphy and Judon, pushing the pocket and collapsing the line of scrimmage. Our run defense could also benefit significantly, reducing the opponent's rushing yards by up to 85 yards annually, which would be a massive boost considering how important stopping the run is in today's NFL. But beyond just the immediate on-field impact, acquiring Murphy sends a clear message to the division. The Falcons are serious about competing now and in the future. The NFC South has been a competitive division, with teams like the Saints, Panthers, and Buccaneers all trying to find their footing. Adding a player of Murphy's caliber puts us ahead of the curve, especially considering the rising offenses in our division. It also raises our odds of competing for a playoff spot and possibly making a deep run. If Murphy joins our ranks, the Super Bowl odds could see a significant boost, moving from around plus 9,000 to plus 3,000, as our defense becomes more formidable and capable of carrying us through tough playoff battles. His pressure ability, especially in the playoffs, could be the X factor that tips the scales in our favor. Looking at the bigger picture, this move isn't just about short-term gains. It's about building a sustainable winning culture. Murphy, with his explosive power and speed, could be the cornerstone of our defense for years to come. His ability to win one-on-one battles, combined with our coaching staff's focus on developing pass-rush strategies, makes him an ideal fit. The Falcons are aiming to emulate some of the best defenses in the league. Think the Eagles or Lions, and a player like Murphy could be the catalyst that pushes us into that echelon. His presence on the field would force offenses to game plan differently, opening up opportunities for our secondary and creating mismatches that we can exploit. Of course, these kinds of deals always come with questions. Can Cincinnati get enough in return for a player of Murphy's talent? Will the Falcons be able to fit his contract within their cap space? And how quickly can Murphy adapt to our defensive scheme? These are valid concerns, but the potential rewards far outweigh the risks. The Falcons have shown a willingness to invest in young, explosive talent, and Murphy fits that mold perfectly. If the deal goes through, expect him to become a key piece of our defensive puzzle, helping us chase that elusive Super Bowl title. Now, as the NFL draft approaches and free agency heats up, it's essential for Falcons fans to stay tuned. This kind of move has ripple effects across the entire league, and the NFC South is going to be even more competitive next season. The Falcons are positioning themselves as serious contenders, and acquiring Murphy could be the move that puts us over the top. Remember, the deadline is fast approaching, April 30th. If Atlanta manages to pull this off, it could very well be the signing that defines our season and propels us into playoff greatness. Deep dive into Atlanta Falcons, recent history and future outlook to truly appreciate the significance of acquiring a player like Murphy. It's crucial to understand the Falcons, recent history, and what the team envisions for the future. Atlanta has long been admired for its offensive prowess, especially with stars like quarterback Desmond Ridder, who, despite some ups and downs, has shown flashes of elite talent. As of 2023, Ridder threw for 700 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions in his first full season as a starter, demonstrating his potential to develop into a franchise quarterback. His mobility, combined with a solid arm and improving decision-making, makes him a central figure in the Falcons' offensive plans. The team's offensive line, historically a point of concern, has shown signs of improvement, especially after the 2024 draft, where they invested heavily in young linemen like Matthew Bergeron and Ryan Neuzil. This offensive foundation is critical because, to complement a solid offense, the Falcons need a defense capable of closing out games and creating turnovers. Defensively, Atlanta has traditionally been anchored by strong line play and a solid linebacker core. Last season, the Falcons finished with a defensive ranking of 14th overall, allowing 340 yards per game and 4 points per game, which is respectable but leaves room for growth. Their pass rush, averaging around 38 sacks per season, was decent but lacked that game-changing talent capable of consistently disrupting quarterbacks. Veteran star Calais Campbell, who joined the team in 2023, provided leadership and interior pressure, but the edge rush was somewhat inconsistent. The addition of Murphy would be a significant upgrade, potentially transforming the Falcons into a top-tier pass-rushing unit that can keep opposing offenses off balance. In the secondary, Atlanta has been solid but not elite. Players like A.J. Terrell have shown flashes of shutdown coverage, but the cornerback group needs more playmakers to complement the pass rush. Adding a disruptive edge rusher like Murphy would alleviate pressure on the secondary by collapsing pockets and forcing quick throws, which in turn could lead to more interceptions and turnovers. Looking ahead, the Falcons are clearly in a rebuilding phase with a focus on sustained success. Their recent draft history shows a commitment to acquiring young talent, like Bijan Robinson, the dynamic running back drafted in 2023, who immediately became a focal point of the offense. Robinson's dual-threat ability, rushing for 200 yards and catching 50 passes, has already made him a cornerstone of the offense. The team's strategy revolves around balancing explosive offense with a defense capable of making critical stops. The addition of Murphy aligns perfectly with this philosophy. His elite athleticism and pass-rushing skills would allow the Falcons to generate more sacks, pressure quarterbacks on third down, and improve third-down conversions against the opposition. This would, in turn, give the offense more opportunities to capitalize and extend drives, creating a more balanced and threatening team. Statistical analysis and player breakdown lets dive deeper into Murphy's statistical impact and what he brings to the table. Over his 3-year college career at Clemson, Murphy was a dominant force, accumulating 26, 5 sacks, 50 tackles for loss, and 7 forced fumbles. His college production translated well into the NFL, where he has shown steady growth. In his rookie season, he recorded 5 sacks and 18 tackles, but it was his sophomore year, 2024, that truly showcased his potential with 8 sacks, 40 tackles, and 3 forced fumbles. His ability to rush from multiple angles, inside and outside, makes him unpredictable and hard to block. His advanced metrics highlight his disruptive nature. Pressure rate, *16. 2%, ranking in the top 15 among rookie edge rushers, sacks per game. *06, a figure that is expected to rise with more playing time and a better fit within Atlanta's defensive scheme, run-stop percentage. *93%, indicating strong ability against the run as well expected points added, EPA, per play. +0.13, rushing. +0.9, passing, showing positive contributions in both facets. Murphy's ability to generate yards after contact, averaging 2.9 YAC against opposing offenses, demonstrates his physicality and agility. His high motor and relentless pursuit of the quarterback make him a nightmare for offensive tackles, especially with his 6'5", 275-pound frame, which allows him to leverage power and leverage effectively. On the other hand, his injury history, notably a groin injury in Week 2 of 2025, which caused him to miss 2 games, is a concern. However, his recovery and subsequent performance, posting a career high in sacks and pressures, show resilience and dedication. The Falcons, medical staff and training regimen have proven effective in rehabilitating players, and Murphy's youth and athleticism suggest he can sustain his high level of play for years to come. Contextualizing Murphy's potential impact in Atlanta * adding Murphy would significantly elevate the Falcons' overall defensive metrics. If we project his impact based on previous seasons, with an increase of 9-10 sacks, the Falcons could push their total to around 48-50 sacks in 2024-25. That level of production would put Atlanta among the top 5 teams in sacks, matching or surpassing defenses like the 49ers or Cowboys. Such a surge would not only boost the pass rush, but also improve overall team morale and confidence on defense. Furthermore, Murphy's presence would allow the Falcons to deploy more creative blitz packages and stunts, exploiting offensive line weaknesses and creating confusion for quarterbacks. This strategic flexibility is vital in high-stakes playoff games, where every possession counts. Notably, Murphy's ability to force turnovers, his 4 forced fumbles in 2025, could be the difference in tight games, especially when combined with the ball-hawking secondary. Expectations and future outlook. Looking forward, if the Falcons successfully acquire Murphy, the team's immediate goal will be to integrate him into the defensive scheme seamlessly. Given his athletic profile and college pedigree, he should adapt quickly, especially with Falcons defensive coordinator Dean Pease, known for his sophisticated pass rush schemes and developing young talent. The long-term vision involves Murphy becoming the cornerstone of the Falcons' pass rush for the next 5-7 years. His rookie contract, combined with Atlanta's willingness to extend key players like Judon and develop young talent on the defensive line, indicates a strategic plan to build a dominant unit. The Falcons' front office under GM Terry Fontenot has shown a clear focus on bolstering the trenches, evidenced by recent draft picks and free agent signings, and Murphy fits into this blueprint perfectly. The division itself is poised for competitive battles. The Saints, led by Derek Carr and a solid defense, the Panthers with their young quarterback Bryce Young and a rebuilding roster, and the Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield and an aging but still competitive roster. Each team is making moves. The Falcons, with Murphy's addition, would position themselves as a team capable of imposing their will in the NFC South. Historical significance and strategic implications. Historically, the Falcons have struggled to maintain consistent pass rush pressure, often relying heavily on defensive backs to generate turnovers. The 2022 season saw a leadership vacuum on the defensive line, with Grady Jarrett being the only consistent force until recent improvements. The addition of Murphy would rejuvenate the pass rush, allowing Atlanta to shift from a bend-but-don't-break defense to one that actively assaults quarterbacks. Strategically, this move signals a shift in identity: more aggression, more sacks, more turnovers. It aligns with the NFL's trend toward high-pressure defenses that can dictate terms in the passing game. In the playoffs, where defenses often win championships, a player like Murphy could be the catalyst for a deep run, especially if paired with talented linebackers and secondary players ready to capitalize on hurried throws. Player development and fit *** Murphy's fit within the Falcons' defensive scheme is promising. Dean Pease' 3-4 hybrid scheme emphasizes versatile edge rushers who can drop into coverage or rush the passer. Murphy's athleticism and agility make him well-suited for this role. His ability to line up on either side of the line and his explosiveness off the snap will be critical in creating mismatches. Mentorship from veterans like Judon and Calais Campbell, both known for their leadership and technique, will accelerate Murphy's development. The Falcons' coaching staff has a track record of developing young pass rushers, and Murphy would be the latest example of that commitment. Market value and trade considerations. Cincinnati's desire to trade Murphy isn't just about cap space. It's also about strategic rebuilding. The Bengals' front office would be looking for multiple draft picks, possibly a first-rounder and a mid-round pick, plus a player or two, to adequately replace Murphy's production and fill the cap void. For Atlanta, acquiring Murphy at a reasonable price would mean a high reward for a relatively modest investment, given his talent and potential. The trade scenario would involve careful negotiations, but the Falcons' willingness to part with future assets in exchange for immediate impact shows their intent to contend sooner rather than later. The timing aligns with the NFL draft and free agency, making this a pivotal offseason move. Conclusion: a game-changer for the Falcons**. In summary, the potential acquisition of Myles Murphy by the Atlanta Falcons is not just a headline. It's a strategic move that could redefine the franchise's trajectory. With his elite athleticism, disruptive ability, and youth, Murphy has the makings of a franchise cornerstone on defense. His addition would elevate the Falcons' pass rush, create more turnovers, and improve their overall defensive metrics, setting the stage for a serious playoff run and potentially a Super Bowl appearance. The implications extend beyond just one player. It signals the Falcons' commitment to building a balanced, aggressive team capable of competing with the best in the league. As the NFC South continues to evolve, Atlanta's bold move to acquire Murphy could be the spark that ignites a new era of success. Fans should be excited, as this move could be the key to unlocking a championship-caliber team for years to come. So stay tuned, Falcons fans. The offseason is just heating up, and with every new development, the path to Super Bowl glory becomes clearer. Whether this trade materializes or not, one thing is certain: Atlanta is positioning itself for greatness, and the future looks bright with or without Murphy. But if it happens, it could be the defining moment that turns our Super Bowl dreams into reality. Character count: 10,007 **.